the Permian right now is running into problems, but these problems are temporary. The Permian right now is running into this issue that's related to pipelines, obviously, and the real source of the pipeline issue is the mismatch between the risk profile of the producing community and the risk profile of the pipeline companies. So remember that producers are gung-ho about an area and growing production for as long as 5 minutes at a time until they find something better, okay? So they are willing to go into an area and they try to grow and make it work, but if they find something better, they will leave. The pipelines, they know this. They have an asset that has to remain stationary for 20, 30, 40 years. So they are reluctant to enter in. So you have this constant battle where people push the envelope on growth and cause the basis to blow out because pipelines are reluctant, and then eventually the pipelines come and the scenario starts over again. So that's a temporary bottleneck. Longer term, the real problem for the Permian to outperform, because it has outperformed until now. The real problem has to do, I think, more with the maturation of the various plays and the degree to which, frankly, a lot of the big gains in productivity are made in the beginning. We're learning. We learn so much. We learn which zones work in which areas. We learn how to frack it. We learn, how to drill it, which part of the zone to land in. All these things are happening as a ferment. But eventually, and we see this happening, those engines that are driving the outperformance, they start to hit ceilings. They start to become mature. They're optimized. Congratulations, guys. You did it. You have a world-class asset that works at $40. But it probably stops getting better. And then we know the size of the box, okay? Will it get better? Yeah, because technology only moves one direction. But it's more incremental than breakthrough gains. So we're in a situation where I think that we're approaching the point where we're seeing the breakthrough gains top out and incremental gains start. And that means that from here on out, if you want more production out of the Permian, you have to put more money into it. More money, more people, more sand, more time, all those things. We love the Rockies because I've got a sort of great mix, okay? So in the Rockies, you have plays at different stages. You have a big play like the Wattenberg, which had an enormous growth spurt last year, okay, in Colorado. It grew like 30% in 6 months. Fabulous stuff. So you have places that are in that let's drill it out mode, and I'm looking to shave off $25,000 here or a half a day here, and I can apply that to the next 1,000 wells. So that's great. You have plays like the Powder River that are in a nice process of that kind of de-risking. I'm trying to understand the extent of the plays, which zones work in which areas, and I love the suite of players there. I've got some privates, I have some publics, some big guys, some small guys, and everybody's getting after it now. Activity in the Powder River Basin went down by about 80%, okay, once crude oil prices fell in 2015 and 16. That was tough, and what that does is it doesn't change the geology, of course, but it lengthens the time frame that the play has to be on a path for greatness. That is now picked up again, and I feel like that's starting to move down the path toward rapid growth, and finally have some incipient plays, some real embryonic stuff that's kind of still being proved out in a number of areas. So I like the Rockies as a place where you've got a good mix of plays, a good mix of players, and a lot of potential. So in the next 10 years, I think we have generally found the sweet spots in the Permian. We had to delineate not only the geography, but also vertically, right, with the different zones. But I think that project is going to be complete within another year. So then we'll know what that tank looks like. And then it's a question of drilling it out. Now it's gigantic, it's gargantuan, and it's good. So I expect to see strong growth, okay, driving U.S. production growth, particularly in late 2019 and 2020 as the pipelines come on. It's going to be a bit, really frankly, an explosion. At the same time, you're getting second-degree inflection points of the kind I mentioned in terms of well productivity, okay? And I do think that over time, particularly if the other plays in the U.S. start to contract a little bit, the Permian will not be able to carry the U.S. to the degree that it carries it right now. But it's probably not going to peak until the late 2020s. So the thing we're working on now, which I find exciting, is we are systematically calculating well spacing. All right, so for all our horizontal wells, it goes down to the ground, and I got a neighbor. Well, how far away is that neighbor? How is that impacting things? Now, everybody has done some of this work, parent-child, that analysis, right? Here's my parent well, the child comes along. How does this affect? Does it interfere? A lot of people have done this work, but at a sort of micro level. We looked at this set of 30 wells, okay? We're trying to do this at a macro scale. We're generating this data for all 100,000 horizontal wells in the United States, okay? What can we glean from that? What we'll be able to see in terms of frac hits, in terms of well interference, in terms of optimal spacing. Because right now, with most of the big plays already in the sort of standardization phase where we're really drilling them out, it's the big question. What is well spacing? What does it look like? And of course, the answer is it depends on your zip code, but we think we're generating the tools and the analysis to be able to start to answer those questions.